Hi there. Welcome to Think Through Math training. We did this training after school in a professional development setting where some of you might not have been able to take advantage of the training, and I wanted it to be available to you whenever you needed it. Think Through Math is a program for grades 3 through 8, and we've been using it in a lot of different ways at the different campuses. When you log in to thinkthroughmath.com, this is your home page. Mine looks a little bit different because I have all the campuses on here, but I want to showcase a couple of different things. This live help, this chat now, is a wonderful tool. If you run into problems and don't know what to do or what to ask, if you'll just click that, it will automatically connect you with someone and you'll be able to get your questions answered relatively quickly. But what I want us to do is I want us to look at motivation. Think Through Math is really good in that it has a couple of different contests going on all the time. If you look down here at the bottom of the page, the latest contest is called the MX3 Sweet 16 Battle Begins Today. Does your school have what it takes? And this is a contest between all the different schools that are using Think Through Math nationwide. But under motivation for your specific classroom, you can go in, pick your campus, and pick a teacher, and then actually set class goals. And when you do that, you can pick a pizza party, a Walmart gift card, and you're looking at goals that have already been selected for these teachers at the intermediate campus. And it tells about how you get those points. And so as the students work through the program, points are accumulated. When you get to 500,000 points, then you actually get the $50 party. So great little built-in motivation tool for your students. So that's under the motivation tab, and you can set those up for your tutorials, for your regular classes, and so on. The next thing is under your reports tab. You can get an overview of your students' usage. So I'm going to pick the junior high. Then I need to pick a teacher. And I'm going to pick Ms. Parker. Then I'd pick a class, one of her classes. And I could pick it from certain dates, or I can just leave it blank. And it's going to generate a report for me to see how often those students have accessed the program, how many lessons, and their progress on those lessons. It takes it just a little bit. And so here are the students. If they've taken the placement test, which is the first thing that I Think Through Math asks the students to do, it will classify them as above grade level, below grade level, or on grade level. This number of lessons attempted, total lessons passed, and as you scroll on down, you'll see your pre-quiz, your post-quiz average, points earned, how many times they've asked their learning coach for help, how many times they've done live chat. The student actually has the same ability as you do with this live chat option up here, can contact a real math teacher, a human, and they will give them hints on some of those things, not on a test situation, but in the learning lesson part. Then the actual time in the system. And here's a neat column that I think is important, is the evening and weekend time. You know, kids are about to be on spring break or the Easter break, encouraging them to log on and get some practice time during those down times is going to be important. And when we look at another report, I know our intermediate students are going online in the evenings and on weekends to do this. As they gain points, they create an avatar, and that's also under the motivation. I forgot to mention that as well. So that's the overview report. You can look at the individual student detail and see how a specific student is doing, or a class. So I'm going to pick a teacher and a classroom. And then I could pick an individual student. And it's going to tell me they've done 613 problems. They've earned 6,580 points this year. Time in the system, 7 hours and 26 minutes. 2 hours and 19 minutes of that has been on evenings or weekends. And their score. As they take these pre-quizzes, if they score well enough, they don't have to go through all the lessons. So that's another reason to encourage them to do their very best on the quizzes and test so that they don't have to go through all those lessons. We can click on the standards report. Oh, that doesn't exist for that student. Sorry about that. Maybe we can look at their pathway. Okay, when you look at the pathway these are the lessons that they're being asked to do. So this is a 3rd grader, and they are actually doing the grade 3 pathway, preparing them to take the STAR. On their placement test, this student was on grade level. And so as you look down this list, each of these are different topics that student has either attempted or mastered. And an X means they didn't pass it, a check they did pass that. And as they pass them, you could print that certificate for that student and use that as a motivational tool as well. So that individualized pathway report is another one that's pretty good. So there's one more report that I want to show you, is individualized pathway. But before we go to that individualized pathway, we're going to go back to home. We talked about this in the training. You can create your own pathway. So as a teacher, you can go in and realize what the students need. They may need only fractions or certain topics in a tutorial type session. So you can assign them a multiple pathway. So I'm going to go through, and you can actually search. So let's say I'm going to search for 5th grade, Texas, and apply. And it's going to narrow everything that is available in the Think Through Math online pathway bank. These have been created by Think Through Math. We can make what's called a customer created, and I'll show you how to do that in just a minute. There's Texas grade 5 with the remediation on. They're going to work through just operations and algebraic thinking. So as you look through these, you think, oh, well, this student really needs measurement. But I don't want remediation off, I want remediation on. If that's something that you think would be beneficial to some of your students, you would clone that course, name it, 5th tutorials, or whatever makes sense to you. Save that course, and then you can pick your options here of how you would like it to do. Do you want them to have a placement test, that kind of thing? And then down here at the bottom is all the different components of that pathway. So these are the available lessons. These are just the lessons that I've selected. So let's say area and perimeter of rectangles, that's good, volume of rectangles, but they really need graphs and histograms. I can slide that over and place it over here, and now it's going to be within that pathway that I've created. You can only do this on a computer. If you try to do this via a iPad, it's not going to work. This being able to slide and drag, that aspect of the program does not work. And so you can also do the placement test on the iPad. However, the lesson components of Think Through Math has to be on another device. So that's how you create an individualized pathway. And once you create that pathway, then you would save it, and then you could assign it to your students. Now, the way you would assign that to your students is you're going to have to go back to home. And we'll see if the internet's going to go pretty fast. And we're going to go to teacher admins. And yours should have classes. Mine doesn't have classes on there because of my administrative. But when you, okay, here we go. Intermediate. I think we can get to the classes here. There we go. Okay, so when we go down, here's a 5th grade teacher. If I wanted to assign that pathway to them, I could, pull up those students, and it'll list those current students, and I could enroll them in a pathway. I could click on just individual students to enroll in the pathway, or I could click here and every student in that class would be automatically enrolled in that pathway. And I'm going to go uncheck these. And so that makes it very customizable for you as a teacher. You can create just what that student needs in the form of remediation lessons. So creating a custom pathway, you create it, you name it, and then what you would do is actually assign it to a student, enroll that student in that pathway. This page right here also tells you the student's usernames and passwords. That's also beneficial. These start cards are another really nice tool that you can click on. If you haven't started using Think Through Math but you're wanting to, you can print these out, and this will give the student's name, their username, and their password. And if you came to the Think Through Math training, you saw what these look like. And so this is something that they could keep in their backpack, and when they go home and they want to access it from home, they still have it and are able to log on and clock some minutes on night and weekends for that. So lots of wonderful opportunities for you with Think Through Math. You just have to get in there and click. Support is really good. These how-to videos are also here. They go over many of the same things I've already gone over, but sometimes it just helps to have someone else say it in a different way. So I hope this has been very beneficial to you. If you have questions, don't hesitate to ask, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you.